We begin with breaking news. There are reports a Brisbane man is in isolation being tested for the highly contagious coronavirus. Brendan Smith is in Brisbane and joins me now live. Brendan, what more do we know?
Danica, the details are still very minimal at the moment, but we do know that it is a Brisbane man who has been tested for the coronavirus. As you say, he is currently in isolation at his Brisbane home, and Queensland Health has confirmed it won't know if this is coronavirus or not until at least the end of the week. So that person is certainly just having a very anxious wait ahead to see if that is in fact coronavirus. We do know that it first started in the Chinese city of Wuhan, and so far 200 people have contracted the virus and 3 people have died. We also know that it has spread to a number of other countries, including Japan, South Korea and Thailand. And right now, Australian authorities are on high alert as well, because we do know that there are direct flights to Wuhan from Sydney 3 days a week. So that flight, the next flight, is scheduled to land in Sydney on Thursday. So authorities are on high alert there and are taking extra security measures at all airports and ports as well. We heard a little earlier from health authorities explaining exactly what this coronavirus is.
What we've also identified overnight, and what has been confirmed, is that the virus has achieved limited human-to-human transmission. So this means now that it is a respiratory virus, so it is likely to be able to spread via people even conceivably talking with each other as the virus is able to move in and out of people's lungs. So in that context, it's likely that we will see some cases. We've already seen cases obviously emerge in South Korea, Japan and Thailand, and it's entirely possible that we will see cases emerge in Australia.
So just confirming, this is a Brisbane man who has been tested for the coronavirus. We won't know until at least 3 days' time whether or not it is in fact that virus. People are likening this virus to the SARS virus, which of course caused widespread panic across the world. 8,000 people were diagnosed with the virus and more than 770 people passed away.
Certainly a concerning development. Brendan Smith, thank you. Appreciate the update.
Well, the coronavirus continues to be a growing problem across much of the world, but it predominantly at the moment is across China. I am joined now by Associate Professor Adam Camrade-Scott from the University of Sydney. Thanks for your time this afternoon, Professor. This virus, it is still in the early stages, but it is similar to SARS, which infected more than 8,000 people across the world in 2002-2003, and it killed around 770 people. Does this new virus, or this new strain of it, have the same potential?
At the moment, the information that we have is that the virus appears to be less virulent, so it's not as deadly as the SARS virus. So it killed approximately 10% of the people that it infected. This new virus, to date, while it has been tragic, has killed 4 people with over 200 cases recorded. So it doesn't appear to be as bad at the moment. There is the potential it may mutate further, which is why we need to continue to monitor the situation closely.
There is some reports that a man in Queensland at the moment may be getting tested for the coronavirus. How concerning is this, that it potentially could be coming to Australian shores?
Well, we have 3 direct flights with Wuhan every week, and Wuhan is currently the epicentre of the virus. What we've also identified overnight, and what has been confirmed, is that the virus has achieved limited human-to-human transmission. So this means now that it is a respiratory virus, so it is likely to be able to spread via people even conceivably talking with each other as the virus is able to move in and out of people's lungs. So in that context, it's likely that we will see some cases. We've already seen cases obviously emerge in South Korea, Japan and Thailand, and it's entirely possible that we will see cases emerge in Australia.
The Australian government says it's doing some measures of screening, but essentially that does rely on passengers. As you say, we've got 3 direct flights from Wuhan to Sydney each week. It does rely on passengers self-declaring symptoms at Australian airports upon arrival. Is this enough?
Yeah, at this point, the virus is, the vast majority of people that become infected with the virus end up only going on to experience mild illness. So there's around 10% of cases at the moment that have resulted in a critical condition in hospital, but most people have ended up with mild illness. In that context, really, it's important. The most important thing is to provide people with information that in the event they go on to develop symptoms and become sick, that they have information as to who they can contact and where they can go to seek medical assistance. And in that context, that's probably one of the best measures that we can put in place at the moment.
Technology and medicine has certainly advanced a lot since 2002 when we did see the SARS virus. Do we have a better chance of stopping the spread this time?
I think so. The fact at the moment that the Chinese government, one of the very first things they did was they conducted their own genome sequencing, and then they've shared that immediately with the international community. And that's been very effective for the international community to start to develop diagnostic tests. So this is enabling us now to identify cases in different countries because we have that information. Based on that alone, we have the ability to detect cases a lot faster than what we did back in 2002, 2003 with SARS. So the prospects look quite good. Having said that, the big challenge really is with the coming week and the Chinese Lunar New Year celebrations. And domestically in China, that usually results in millions of people moving, going home to their families. And obviously that creates the potential for a respiratory virus in that context to spread as well. So it's really going to be important over the next week or more that we see the Chinese authorities putting out very good, strong public health messages, and all reports are currently that they are doing that, and then that the international community is also aware to keep on the lookout for cases so that we can try and contain this virus as rapidly as possible.
Professor, as you say, the Lunar New Year, it does see a lot of movement within China itself, but there were also a lot of Australians that travel to Asia every week, not only for work but for also holidays. For people travelling to Asia in those coming weeks, what should they do before they go? Is there any way that they can mitigate their risks?
The best thing that people can do really is to exercise basic infection control precautions. So regular hand washing, minimising contact with people that exhibit any signs of respiratory illness, coughs, sneezes and so forth. And basically just be mindful of their surroundings to try and prevent the risk that they would become infected. This virus is the same virus, from the same family of viruses that usually cause the common cold. So in that context, you can appreciate it's kind of difficult. It's fairly easy to contract these types of common cold viruses. So mostly the main thing, regular, sensible precautions, and most people will be able to go along and enjoy a holiday or their international travel without difficulty.
How is it treated if they are found to have the coronavirus?
The main issue at the moment seems to be that it does cause respiratory distress in people. And now we witnessed this in SARS and with the MERS outbreak in South Korea a few years ago. And in that context, usually what happens is that people present to emergency departments and with respiratory distress, and they're provided with some sort of inhaler or Ventolin type arrangement, nebulized treatment to help try and alleviate their symptoms. The challenge in the past has been that that has actually helped spread the virus in a healthcare setting, and we witnessed that in multiple instances in SARS as well as in South Korea. So long as healthcare workers are cognizant of that risk, and then we are putting out public messaging for people in the community to make sure that they exercise normal precautions, then the virus should be able to be contained fairly rapidly. The main thing is that if people do start to feel sick, that they try and isolate themselves as much as possible and reduce spreading the virus to others.
Yeah, some good advice there, certainly. We do hope that this can be contained quickly. Thanks so much for your time this afternoon, Professor.
Thank you very much.